Let's look at the awesome things you can do in VR other than gaming in 2022. I do this every year as VR technology advances rapidly, so we keep getting cool new or improved things to do. This time though, Unity sponsors the video. As you may know, Unity is my weapon of choice when developing, so when they asked to partner up, I was like, heck yes! They want to show that Unity is more than just a game engine, so today when I mention an app that's made with it, I'll let you know using this tag in the left corner. Now let's get started. Join me beyond reality. This is something I absolutely love doing, using VR to explore the wildest places on Earth. How about hopping aboard the ISS where you can explore and experience life as an astronaut? What about visiting Antarctica and Machu Picchu? In this app, it's beautifully recreated in an interactive experience, and this one actually convinced me to visit the real-life Machu Picchu this year. I can tell you that it made the experience even more special as I knew more about it while I was there. If you don't have a VR headset, head out to VR arcades or go to a museum where they have VR experiences. Like this one in Paris allows you to go to ancient Egypt and explore one of the most famous 7 wonders of the world, the Great Pyramid. These experiences are usually more immersive as there's usually enough space to walk freely in the VR worlds. And honestly, even if you already have a VR headset, it's still worth the trip because you don't get to try this at home. Next is a magical thing you should try if you haven't yet. Recreate your real-life room in VR one-on-one. This can be done with custom home mapper that you can get via side quests. It lets you quickly map out your room, including your furniture. So if you have a couch, you can add a virtual couch to know where to sit in VR. Then the magic is of course being able to spawn whatever you want. You want a window that looks out to the universe? Done. You want 5 TVs instead of 1? Done. The app has so many cool features, you should definitely try it out. Now we all know VR can burn many calories as we play games, but did you know VR can help you get better at sports? Rezzle is a company that focuses on this. They made a VR suite of virtual drills designed to analyze, benchmark, educate, and improve any player. They use a PC VR headset with eye tracking and feet trackers, which can study things like how fast a player makes decisions and how aware he is of the situation. What's cool is that in VR, the possibilities are endless. So one of the cool things the developer told me was that it could be used to put a player back in a simulation of an actual match. So they could replay a real scenario to see what could be improved. I mean, that's just futuristic. And it's proven to work. It's already being used worldwide by top clubs like the soccer team Manchester United and the NFL team Atlanta Falcons. Now, this is priced for professional teams, but if you wanted to give this a try, you can. There's a lightweight, cheaper Quest 2 version that doesn't have all the bells and whistles like feet tracking, so you get less data, but you can still use it to train things like throwing and reaction time. As VR technology advances, it's only a matter of time before we get the whole package at home, so you can surprise your friends the next time they challenge you to a sports game. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for support. As a thank you, here's a picture of my kitty. In VR, you can watch movies in a private theater with a giant screen, and your headsets got full 3D functionality too, which is awesome. So I mentioned this one before, but I'm repeating this because technology has become so much better. Before, headsets didn't have high resolution, so even if you had this huge screen, you could only watch low-res movies. It was watchable, but sometimes blurry. Now, the next generation VR headsets are here, allowing us to watch 4K movies with better screens, colors, and even comfort. So try inviting your friends from all over the world and watch something together. I think it's one of the best things to do in VR. While on the subject, you know you could meet movie stars in VR? It doesn't happen often yet, but the creator of Baba Yaga, love that experience by the way, highly recommend. They did a red carpet premiere of the experience in a custom built all-space VR world. The Baba Yaga stars Daisy Ridley from Star Wars and Jennifer Hudson, who doesn't know her were there virtually, so you could meet them, chat, or take photos with them. I imagine doing this in real life, there will be so many more screaming fans, so the chance of having a bit of private time is much higher in VR. Plus, it doesn't matter where you are, if you have internet, you could join. Unfortunately, I don't know when more of these premieres are coming, but I definitely think more premieres should be done like this. VR can also help overcome fears. Acrophobia, the fear of heights, is one of the most common phobias, followed by public speaking, and VR has apps for both. Braver, an app available for free on App Lab, combines gaming and exposure therapy backed by science to help you overcome the fear of heights or claustrophobia. They created a unique world for each fear with a challenging yet quite enjoyable experience that allows you to face your fears from the safety of your home. If it's public speaking that gives you anxiety, apps like Public Speaking Simulator or Fearless VR put you in front of a crowd so you can practice and get used to it. Going into social VR apps like VR Chat or Altspace and speaking to strangers there can also help. The best thing about VR is that if you find it a bit too much, you can just take it off and try again later. And what's this, you may ask? This is a developer who figured out how to use the Quest 2 as a measuring tape. You can download it for free here. Now, whether you have a business meeting, a school assignment, or a personal project, VR now has excellent apps to collaborate with others on those undertakings. There are free apps you could try, like Horizon Workrooms or Mozilla Hubs. One of the benefits is you feel like you're close, even though you're not in the same room. And if you want something more powerful, you could also try Shapes XR. This app allows you to 3D design and prototype together. Sharing ideas with team members has never been easier because it's so easy to visualize your thoughts when you can draw them with your hands in VR instead of using the keyboard and mouse. Shapes XR impressed me with how easy it was to use and that you get full creation functionalities for free. If you're more into architectural engineering, Archeo could be something for you. It supports the right tools for that industry and it's really powerful. You can use it to design interiors, buildings, virtual spaces, or even game environments. But the only limit is your imagination. So you know what would be cool? Presenting to teachers, clients, or stakeholders using VR next time. I think it will earn you some extra points. Mr. Edgar Dale once helped us understand that we learn best through action, doing the real thing or assimilation. He said reading and lecturing are the least effective ways to learn, yet most schools teach very logically reading and lecture. VR could change everything as it goes here in the cone of experience. And you can already try it, like learning a new language in VR, learning to code in an easy to understand way, or how about learning to play the piano? Now I wish there was a list with high quality educational experiences with information that you know is correct, but there is no such list yet. However, I found Transfer, who is making great strides with complete VR courses tailored for schools and companies. It will put you in hands-on simulations that teach real-world skills. It includes tests which are then available for instructor review. It's a paid app, but then at least you can trust that the information should be correct. Also, I tried it and I never had so much fun learning about auto body tools. Unfortunately, you can't use it at home right now, which hopefully they will allow us to do because I would much rather buy a course here than a boring textbook. Now, if you want to sit back and relax to learn, watching 360 videos is also a ton of fun. You can check out the evocative stories section in the Quest store. I recommend Traveling While Black, or you could download the YouTube VR app and find 360 content there. However, you may want to see more carefully selected content. Then you could also take a look at ghehe XR. The platform offers a large base of 360 videos built by educators and aimed at teaching students. They aim this at schools, libraries, and programs like summer camps, but households and small groups could also subscribe to it. I think this is great for parents, for example, who want to make sure their kids aren't going to see any scary VR stuff. Another fun thing to do is checking out VR events or exhibits. The pandemic definitely accelerated this. There are now so many more VR shows you can visit from anywhere and anytime. Like this beautiful exhibit in Altspace VR about the global history of the LGBTQIA+ Pride movement, which is free to visit. You can also visit NFT art galleries, and many physical VR events now have a virtual version like the Tokyo Game Show. Now, if you're looking for something to do, most social VR apps like Altspace, VRChat, or Rec Room have an event calendar that you can check out to find something. On these calendars, you might also find clubbing in VR. I wanted to mention this separately as there's a big underground dance scene in VRChat, complete with clubs, scheduled events, and live performances. It's an incredible experience as you can let loose as whoever you want to be by creating your avatar, plus no lines if you want to pee, and it's usually free. So how do you find a VR club event? Well, usually when you find a VR club, you can just go on their Discord and look for the event calendar. So if you want to dance the night away in the comfort of your house, go try this out. Now, if you do all these things, you gain some amazing experiences, memories you never want to forget. VR is also a great tool to preserve these memories. It's like a diary 3.0. What I like to do is use a 360 camera to capture special places. Later, you can load this up in your VR headset and re-experience that memory, or show your friends or future kids what you've been up to in a unique way. Now, if you have an emotional attachment to an object, there is a way to do the same thing. You could use 3D scanning apps or photogrammetry to scan these objects and then load them in compatible VR apps to never forget about them. Imagine scanning the house you grew up in so you can revisit it anytime. So I visited a Dutch company that does this professionally. They do it on another level and even scan whole monuments to preserve them digitally at a very high quality. I wanted to mention them because I think it's so cool that these kind of things will probably keep our history alive even hundreds of years from now. Yes, this is an unmanned AI robot which utilizes VR to provide cleaning services for commercial buildings. It's created by Somatic, a New York-based startup, and it costs about $1,000 a month. But man, I thought this is smart. But this is actually a great bridge to the last awesome thing. Working in VR isn't something from the future anymore. It's here and pretty incredible. Companies now see the benefit of using VR to collaborate. This goes as far as allowing some organizations to offer fully remote jobs, which is beneficial because you can hire people from around the world. For example, Volvo is pioneering this in the car industry with Unity and VR headset maker Vario. Basically, they've combined forces to make a digital twin of their entire car factory, Volvo's own metaverse. Before this, their teams used many different tools, making it nearly impossible to bring these mountains of data together. Unity and VR became the glue between these modules. And since Vario's headsets are one of the highest resolutions, designers and engineers can now show each other exactly what they envision in VR with, for example, an interactive 3D model. This all resulted in improved collaboration and faster design iteration, which speeds up the development process while costing less. Volvo uses VR at every stage. They even use Vario's mixed reality capabilities to simulate dangerous traffic conditions to test safety mechanisms. It's innovative as Now, imagine working together in the metaverse from start to finish and you never even have to meet in person. If you're looking for a job right now, I'd definitely check out companies that use VR like this. A tip for finding these metaverse companies is to check out who uses Unity's digital twin solutions, because using it you can make virtual copies of anything physical, like a product, a system, an environment, or whatever else you can think of. It's like making your own metaverse. And then, just like like with Volvo, it can improve productivity while reducing costs. Check out what it's currently being used for with the link down below. That's it for today. Are you going to try anything from this list, or did I miss something that you think I should include next time? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again to Unity for supporting the channel by sponsoring today's video. Now, if you want to build software like what you saw today, check out Unity Pro. Click on the link below. And thank you so much for being here. As always, we're Ginny in the Matrix.